Good morning. We are at the concluding part of Uddhav Gita. I will just recap what we did yesterday so that you will get an understanding. Sri Krishna mentions to Uddhava that these teachings which Krishna had given should never be imparted to people, those who are atheistic, those who are haughty, deceitful, unwilling to listen, wanting in devotion, and wicked. So people who are of those types should never be considered and given these teachings because they themselves don't look at stuff which is good enough. They are always looking at the downside of life. Somebody who is looking at the downside of life creates a lot of issues, not only for himself but for other people, because there is a lot of karmic debt that transpires out of it. Now, if you were to follow Krishna's teachings, then you will be able to get not only the fourfold gains, which means the Purusharth, that is Dharma, Artha, Kam, and Moksha, these four things will come to you. And along with it, you will get all the knowledge in the world. You will be satisfied in your work, that is, you do your Swadharma. You will have union with God. You will be economically sound, which means you will be able to earn your living properly. And as well as the last which he says is there's a lot of political thing that goes around in everybody's life, not just the outside world of politics. We're not talking about the level of politics which is played at the center and at the state level. No. In your petty life, in your small life, there is a lot of political things that happen. There are people who will refuse work from you. They will say, oh, I cannot do this for you. Some people will disagree with you. How do you politically circumvent that and get them on your side? See, this is a path which is very important for our material worldly people, because you cannot have enemies. If you have enemies, they will never be with you. They will be working against you. Right? So why have enemies? Why not make friends? Why not create assets? These are humans. They are called assets. They have their own pluses. Can we leverage on their pluses? And if I can leverage on the pluses so that the mankind can be benefited, then I have done my duty. So please remember this. The last word is called politics, and that is happening in your day-to-day life. Got it? So this is where we had concluded yesterday. So today we are continuing from where we left off. Now this is the last verse which Krishna is going to talk about. So let us see what Krishna has to say. Alright? We are doing Uddhav Gita, the last message of Sri Krishna, chapter 24, verse 34. When a man, relinquishing all work, surrenders himself to me, it is then that I like to magnify him most. Attaining immortality, he is then fit for oneness with me. Now, this is a verse which gives us a lot of secret information. So, what is the secret? Till the time your ego is prevalent and you keep on saying always, I want to do this, I have to do this, this is where I am going, what I am doing. You are using yourself, that is the ego within you and the mind. Till you use your ego and mind, you are on the karmic path. You are doing your karma. You are absolutely on that track. You are not coming towards Krishna. No way. When does a person come towards Krishna? This is the secret he has given over here. Till you believe you are the doer, I work very hard, I give money to my family, I take care of my wife, my children, if there is a wife, she's taking care of the house, the husband or whatever. She will say, I am taking care. I am doing the job. I work really very hard in this world. I earn my living. Or someone says, I don't get enough money. I am a poor man. Every sentence which is punctuated by the term I, mine, myself, the ego is there. And then there are desires. I want good life. I want to do good in this world. Sattva-guna, remember this. Who are you to do good? Ask yourself that question. You're just a pawn. You're just being used. But yet that ego comes into the picture. I did it. Just a few days ago, I saw a person literally gloating or floating on in the sky. I have finished my work in this world. I have given my stuff to somebody else. I don't have to do much. And I am really satisfied. That is called gloating. That is called ego. First, it is not yours. Who are you to give something to someone? That answer is never understood. People think they are doing favors to someone. If you give money to someone or you give property, you give some, job, the person feels that they are doing that other person a favor. It is your ego which is getting, pumped up. I'm sorry. You are going to go to hell because of that ego of yours. Your ahankara is showing. Who are you to give? You are giving because God is making you give that person. It is never that I am giving, I do, I give job, I give money, I take care of my parents, I take care of my, family, I take care of my children, I send them to good school. Who are you? The secret is this. You have to relinquish all work. Don't keep on saying this, I did. You are absolutely nothing in this world. And yet that ego keeps on prodding you and saying, no, you are somebody great. Either it is inflated ego or deflated ego. Deflated ego is very beautiful. I'll tell you how it is. I am always blamed for everything. You always blame me. My world is not good. My time is bad. Mera time kharab hai. I don't have money. I don't have anything. I don't have house. I am living on charity. People beat me. They treat me so badly. Me. I am the loser. I am a worthless case. मेरे से कुछ नहीं होता. I am not able to do anything. That I is called a deflated ego. Are you still not taking credit for what you are not getting? God gives to others, He doesn't give me. It's your ego talking. The moment you have both these egos, inflated and deflated, you can never reach Krishna. Let me assure you this much. You are absolutely nobody. So don't take credit for anything. Some people are born to suffer and some people are born to enjoy because of their past karmas. You do good in this life, you will get good karma in your next life. That means you will enjoy your life. You do bad now and you may not get any benefit out of it, and yet you will go in the gutters next time. That is assured. That is how the law of karma works. But if you want to be with Krishna, first let go of that I. I, me, myself. Don't keep on saying I did something for somebody. The secret is this: till you do not relinquish all work and surrender himself to me. That means Krishna is saying you have to relinquish all work, which means you have to give up all this I, mine, me, myself thing. You are just a tool in the hand of the divine. The divine will make you do things the way he has programmed this universe. Don't you dare say I did it. Because the moment you say I did it, you are out. You can never be with Krishna. No. I mean, if you don't want to be, then it's your choice. Then you keep on saying I did, I did, I did. Keep on gloating, keep on feeling nice about it, keep on feeling miserable about it, and do whatever you feel like. You have to relinquish this work, this ego of yours, and surrender to Krishna. When you do that, I like to magnify him most. That means magnify him most. Think what he is saying. Krishna is saying, I will expand him to the level that he can come to me. His knowledge, remember the previous verse where we said, Krishna gives these four things. The Purusharth he gives to everybody. Those who are his devotees, he gives them the Purusharth. Then he said something else. Then he said, I will pass on this knowledge to you. Then he says, the work, important job, yoga, union with me, the economic development of yours, and the political acumen, these are the profits that you are going to get once you have surrendered to me. But if you have not surrendered, I cannot give you these things. You will still remain a miserable person, that small, petty human being. Which one is preferable? Godliness or humanness? Humanness means you can never rise. I will give you these powers along with it. So I will expand you. I will see to it that I magnify you. That means you become great. Attaining immortality, he is then fit for oneness with me. After that, you will attain immortality. Immortality, you can never die. You have become the spirit soul. You have become the Atma. And when you become the Atma, you merge in me. This is the secret of this verse. So never keep on saying, I did this, I am doing this, I take care of people, I manage everything. Who are you? You are just nobody. And this lesson has never come to anybody. You know, it comes to a person when. I will tell you when it comes to a person. There was a great writer called Walt Whitman. I don't know whether you know about him. But if you don't, then find out. At the age of 64, he was paralyzed. Alright? When he was paralyzed, then he said, I realize the value of my life. It's when you are in that condition, lying on the bed and nothing to do, then you realize the importance of what you have lost in your life. Why do you want to do that? That was an old person, 64 years of age. Let me come to a younger person. There was a young man who used to write against the government, against the czars. His name was Fyodor Nikolaevich Dostoevsky. Now, Dostoevsky used to write so much about the czars of Russia that he was put in the jail. And he put him in such a manner that he was to be executed. There were people lined up and with the bayonets, the guns were trained on him. There were along with him a lot of other people. He was just 26 or 27 years old, facing death in the face. That right in front of him, the Tsar's battalion was standing. They wanted to kill all these people. Suddenly, at the last minute, when they were supposed to take aim and shoot, an order came to that person. Please let go all these people. The Tsar is very happy with them. He just wants to pardon everybody, but everybody will be in jail. So, Dostoevsky went back to jail. He was there in jail for 4 years after that. And then for 14 years, he was in Siberia. When he was that 26, 27 years old, he realized the value of life. And he said, I have to live every single day of my life from henceforth, because I was facing death. So Dostoevsky faced death. He understood the value of life. From the age of 40 onwards, he started writing very beautiful books. You can read them. They are wonderful books. Brother Karamazov, The Idiot, and many others. He has written so many of those beautiful books. The greatness of Dostoevsky or Walt Whitman can be understood when they realize that hit their brains, Now I am dying. Now I am at my deathbed. I have to do something. That was at 64 and at 70, 27. Why would you want to realize this? This life is so precious. Realize it today. This is the moment. Don't waste your time keeping on saying, I did this, I did that. Start working. Work very hard. Really put in all the efforts that you want. Putting efforts is your job. Doing your job is your job. Okay? It's your duty. It's your swadharma. When you do your swadharma, you are not doing anything great for anybody. That is the reason you are put over there. Remember, when we make a robot, or maybe a drone, that drone has certain life. It has to do certain things. And if the drone doesn't want to do, then it becomes useless. Like that, the dog which is there of that Boston Dynamics, if it doesn't do the job, then it is useless. If your rifle doesn't fire when you are on the war front, it is useless. Like that, you are also a tool of God. If you are not going to do your work, then you are a useless tool. The rifle or the gun or whatever, other things, they are not saying, I did the job, I did the job, I did the job. You think that robot will say, I did the job? No. He has to do it. He is a machine. And the operator is somebody else. Likewise, you are the machine. God is the one who is making you do things. So don't take this credit, I did. Relinquish this and then focus on the divine. Do your duties diligently in this world. Pray to Krishna because he is the one who is pulling all your strings. And never take credit for anything that you have done. It might be the pettiest thing in the world of, giving money to someone or giving a job or doing whatever, You're supporting your family, giving money to your parents. You are supposed to do that, sir. That is your duty. The day you relinquish all these I, me, myself and realize it is Krishna who is driving this world and doing your work diligently in this world, that day Krishna says, I will magnify you the most. And then you will become immortal because you have overcome your body. You now know you are a part of the divine, and then you will come to me. So, this is the words of Krishna. He has concluded these verse over here. Now let us say what Sukdev Goswami has to say. We are doing Uddhav Gita, the last message of Sri Krishna. Verse 35 from chapter 24. Shuka said, being thus shown the path of yoga and listening to the speech of Sri Krishna of supreme glory, Uddhava has his eyes filled with tears and his voice was choked with emotion. He could not utter anything and remained with folded hands. When such a great teaching is being given by the Divine Lord, how are you supposed to accept it? Naturally, your heart is filled with the love, with the wanting to do work for Him. He is not an ordinary person. Krishna is the great one, the ultimate, the last, the absolute, the divine, the truth, supreme divine consciousness. When Krishna himself is instructing you, how would you feel? Uddhava feels exactly like that, overwhelmed with the love and the divine fervor that he has got into. His eyes were filled with tears because Krishna has now shown him the path of liberation, the yoga, the true yoga, oneness with Krishna. Yoga, as you know, the term means oneness with the divine, union with God. Krishna has shown this union with God. And that is the reason why when Krishna spoke about all this, Uddhava was filled with tears. His voice was choked with emotion and he could not utter anything and remained with folded hands. We go to the next verse. We are doing Uddhav Gita chapter 24 verse 36. O king, controlling through practice, the mind convulsed with emotion and considering himself blessed, he touched the lotus feet of the chief of the Yadavas with his head and spoke with folded palms. Now Sukdev Goswami is teaching this whole lesson. Remember, this is the Srimad Bhagavatam. Uddhav Gita is a part of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Uddhav Gita is the teaching of Sri Krishna to Uddhava. So Sukdev Goswami is telling this story to Parikshit Maharaj. Now Parikshit is listening. So he says, O king, he addresses him as the king. Controlling through patience. You have to be patient in everything. You cannot keep on jabbering in the middle. You have to have patience. Saburi. Sai Baba also says, Shraddha and Saburi. Faith and patience. These are two important things that you need to have. Faith, devotion and patience. These are important things. You need to have that patience. Listening to Krishna and not interrupting him constantly is important. Mind was convulsed with emotion. There were too many emotions flowing from him. And considering himself blessed, he felt very blessed in front of Krishna. And what did he do? He touched the feet of Sri Krishna, the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. He went and fell at his feet, touched his head over there, and spoke with folded palms. So, what did Uddhava say now? We have to do that. Uddhav Gita, the last message of Sri Krishna, chapter 24, verse 37. Uddhava said, O parent of Brahma, thy very presence has scattered the thick darkness of infatuation, while I have been harboring in my mind. Can chill, darkness, and fear triumph over one who has resorted to the fire? So he is talking about Sri Krishna being that fire. When you are out there in the cold, you need a fire so that you can warm yourself up. Imagine this is a human being who is completely lost in the world. This person who is totally in like a material worldly person has listened to the entire Uddhav Gita. Imagine his name is also there in that. The Gita of Sri Krishna, which has got more significance than Bhagavad Gita. I can assure you this much, because Bhagavad Gita is to do your tiny battles and wars. Okay? Whereas Uddhav Gita is all about living in this world like a human being. How to lead your life from beginning to end. Because this is the most important teaching which is never understood by humankind. We think that Bhagavad Gita is best. Yes, it is good for the temporary relief, but Uddhav Gita is a knowledge given not only about the Bhagavad Gita is there in short in this, but the teachings of Dattatreya and every other thing that you need to do in this world when you are living this life. These words were uttered by Krishna when Krishna was dying. Remember, he was dying, and naturally, this is the greatest of his teachings, but people never understand this. They will always swear by Bhagavad Gita. Okay? In this book, he is not talking of anything which you have to do your skirmishes in this world. You have a problem with your boss, use the Bhagavad Gita. You have a problem with your wife or your husband, use the Bhagavad Gita. You have a problem in the court, मैं गीता पे हाथ रख के कहता हूँ. What are you talking about it, sir? You have not learned to lead your life. It's a temporary patch. You want a permanent patch? Uddhav Gita is the permanent patch. This is where how to reach Krishna is given along with the teachings of my Gurudev Dattatreya. So it is not a small one. It talks about Kundalini Yoga, which is not there in the Bhagavad Gita. It talks about Dattatreya and his teachings, which is not there in the Bhagavad Gita. So please understand, Uddhav Gita is a very, very important one. So, Uddhava is saying to Krishna, O parent of Brahma, he is Brahmaji's parent also and Brahma also. The Parabrahma, the Brahma which we talk about. You remember, in the last 1 week, we were doing the same thing. And even in the Bhagavad Gita, which I am doing on Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, same thing is being taught. He is the master of everything, beyond all the three gods also. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, these are temporary gods. They will all get perished. The ultimate destination, where everything is him alone, is Sri Krishna himself. He is in the second divine unmanifest, not even in the first. The first divine unmanifest is the place where Brahma is. From it comes Narayana. And from Narayana, the entire Prakriti creates. Further up. Then the three gunas come into the picture. After the three gunas, the three gods. So how much down the line are the three gods? Quite a lot. So naturally, Krishna is the parent of Brahma. Thy very presence has scattered the thick darkness of infatuation. This infatuation which I have in this world, I am leading such a terrible life. I don't know what to do. My whole world is a mess. I don't have a job. I don't have money. I don't have these. So many issues which a human being has. I have problems in my emotional world also. My wife is not good. My husband is not good. My children are bad. This whole world is terrible. Pandemic is going on. Sickness is around. How many issues you come up with. That is the infatuation you have. Why infatuation? Because it's a temporary thing. It lasts only for that duration of time. It goes away. So, which I have been harboring in my mind. This man was harboring these things in his mind. The mind is the root cause of all your misery. Please understand this. It's because in the mind you think, I am the doer. I did this, I did that. That is the place. Overcoming the mind is important. Surrendering at the feet of Krishna is very important. So he is giving this understanding that it can create this kind of a problem. So let us see what he says further. So we are doing the Uddhav Gita, chapter 24, verse 38. Thou hast out of thy grace restored to me, thy servant, the lamp of knowledge. Who that is conscious of thy favor will forsake thy feet and seek another refuge. Uddhava is saying to Krishna, he says, you have given your grace to me. I am just a servant, a humble servant at your feet. and yet you have been so kind to give me this grace of the divine knowledge. You have imparted this divine knowledge. There are two kinds of knowledge. One is the mundane knowledge of this world, and second one is the divine knowledge. The mundane knowledge will tell you your life is important, your family is important, your children are important, your everything is important. Your education in this world is important. You have to become a PhD, you have to do this, you have to go to Harvard's and all those fancy things. This is where you have to go. You have to become all the Bill Gates of this world, to become a very rich person. That is what the material world teaches you. It teaches you to be a great scientist. Okay, go and work for CERN or for MIT or all these things. It will tell you that. But like I was giving you the story of Dostoevsky and Walt Whitman just before this, what happened to them? It hit them very hard, isn't it? One was on his deathbed and one was in the firing squad. Then these two things hit them very hard. This life is worth living. I need to find the truth about life. And finding the truth about life, that is the real knowledge. I am not the body. This is the truth. But you keep on saying, I am the body, my name is so and so, I did this, I did that, blah, blah, blah. That I, me, myself is always permanent in your life. You have to remove that out. You are not the body. You are the divine soul, Jivatma. You are that divinity. Expand yourself and to become that. That is the truth. So, Uddhava is telling Krishna, thank you for giving me this grace of having this knowledge. Now, who will forsake your feet? If you are giving such fantastic knowledge, which will take me beyond, I will never have rebirths again. I don't want to be born again. Because in this life, if I am a human being, the next life could be a life of a cockroach or an insect or a bird or whatever it might be. There is no guarantee that I am going to get a human life. Our Sanatan Dharma teaches us that there is no guarantee for what the next life is going to be. You want a human birth, you have to be sattvic in nature. Otherwise, there is no choice. If you die as a Rajasic person, you may get a poor job, very, very poor man, or you can become a demon. Two things. Wild animals and all, or insects and birds and all those petty creatures is when you are tamasic. Remember this. Or you can become a Rakshasa. Now, this is the way how this world expands into. So now that I have got this knowledge where I have got immortality, I don't have to be born again and again and again in this world. So now I have understood this. I will go away from here completely satisfied. So, we are going to Uddhav Gita, chapter 24, verse 39 now. That strong net of affection for the Dasharas, Vrishnis, Andhakas and Sattvatas, which thou hast thy inscrutable power didst cast over me to propagate thy creation, thou hast cut asunder with the weapon of knowledge relating to thee. Just the way in which knowledge was passed on to these various other tribes, you have passed on this knowledge to me, and because of this weapon of knowledge which you have given to me, of liberation, I will cut asunder, I will remove, I will cut this life of mine, and from henceforth I will become completely immersed in doing your work. I don't want to be that petty human being that I have been all my life. I just want to be this great person. I want to finally merge in you. I will take these teachings to my heart. Please remember this. A person, I'll as a side note, I will tell you. Every human being tries to teach another human being something good. Alright? They will say, you do this like this. You get motivated. You have to do this. You have to do that. Okay? There are great motivational speakers. There are great people in this world who keep on giving a whole load of jargon and things like that that you are supposed to do. Not even 0.01% of the people in this world take it in themselves and listen. Because their mind talks. Laziness comes in. They refuse to do anything. They will do one course, then they will leave that course, and after a few months they will say, oh, I am so depressed, I don't know what to do. Then they will say, oh, I want to do something with my life, I just want somebody to push me. They will go and join another course. And that courses keep on happening over and over and over again. Things never change. It's high time when you are a young person that your mind can change. Your brain has the capacity to change when you are around 20. By 30, it has become fixated and rigid. I am not going to change this. Yesterday's satsang I was giving about this. Listen to it if you have missed it. Listening to it, you will understand. By the time you are 30, you are so much fixated that nothing changes you. By the time you are 40, you have become literally like a stone. ये मेरे से नहीं हो सकता. This is not possible for me. And that is a time when a man says, I have to do this course. I have to do this motivation thing. I will see these videos. I will go to YouTube. I will join Tony Robbins. I will do this one. I will listen to Gary Vee. Okay, sir, you can listen to whomsoever you want. But nothing enters the brain. Okay? Nothing happens. Why? You have to be a self-starter, sir. You have to become empowered yourself. Empowering yourself means not telling the watch clock, the clock saying, 6 baje uthao. No. Why are you telling that clock and putting an alarm? Put the alarm in the initial stages, but later on get up on your own. You need artificial things. All your, I want to reduce weight. First, sir, why are you doing this? Why are you eating first in this place, so much of fat and stuff like that? Stop that. Control is important. Control of your senses is important. Your ears, even if somebody is criticizing you, why are you taking it? The story of Buddha is very much important over here. Buddha was going along the road with one of his disciples. One person comes near him and abuses him for half an hour. Buddha is looking very peaceful and calm and listens to him. Doesn't say anything. After that, the person gets tired. So Buddha asks him, have you finished? Thank you, and walks away. When he walks away, what happens? His disciple says, I would like to smash his face. I want to break that fellow's bones. He was talking so badly about you. He's telling his master, Buddha. So Buddha looks at him and says, you heard it? I was not even listening to it. When somebody says something bad to you, why do you have to listen? It's not important to listen. Your mind, when you are listening to the music, you are not listening, you are not seeing anything in the... Shut your ears down. It is in your hands. When your eyes are wandering here and there looking for all kinds of nonsensical stuff, why is it important? Don't look here and there. Stop. See, it is not important to keep on looking. Kya ho raha hai wahan par? There is a crowd gathered on the road and everybody wants to look at that tamasha going on over there. Arey kya ho raha hai wahan par? Another story. There was a man standing on the road. This is a common story, but I'll tell you. A man was standing on the road and he was looking like this. Another person comes and says, what is this fellow looking at? So he also starts looking over there. Then another person comes and then another person comes. Finally, there is a crowd gathered over there. Okay, at this place. And they're all looking up like this. They're trying to see what is happening maybe it's a tall building or something like that. So finally one person comes, what's happening man, what's happening, उधर क्या हो रहा है, क्या हो रहा है वहां पर? So he asked the person in front of him. The other person says, I don't know. This person was looking, so I was looking. Finally, they come to the person who was standing like this. And that person, they ask him, Sir, ऊपर क्या हो रहा है, क्या देख रहे हैं आप? And he turns around, मेरी मुंडी टेढ़ी है. You see the joke? his head itself is like this. So naturally, he is looking like this. Our human beings are like this, stupid people. If one gathers over there, 100 will gather over there. There is no need. So you have to control your eyes, control your ears, control your tongue. You don't have to keep on eating all the time. ये बहुत अच्छा है, भजिया. This मौसम is good for this. I have to eat this vada pav. I have to eat this, jalebi, this one, that one. Oh my God, so much of eating. Control your tongue. Then you don't have to go on the keto diets and the keto diets and whatever nonsense that people do. And all those, this juice, that juice, I don't know, Karela juice, jamun juice. Why do you have to go to that extreme? Keep yourself healthy and fit every day. Not last minute patch ups. Every day go for a walk. Every day go for a run if you are doing it. You don't have to keep on doing, I see a person over here walking 3-4 hours. Oh my God, that person, he's listening to Ek Bangala Bane Nyara. You know what, KL Saigal and all those old songs, old man, he's walking. How many hours he walks? I don't understand. Anyway, he may be walking, but I can see the dark circles around his eyes and the way he looks. Sir, drinking and trying to, patch up is not good. It's like on one side you're taking the coronavirus and on the other side you're taking the injection. Sahi nahi hai. Control. Put the mask on. Don't go out so much. Got it? Prevention is better than cure, no, they say. So these are things which we have to do in our life. Do them. Once you are fully focused in your life and you are not straying here and there, you are leading a very good life. Otherwise, ask yourself this question. Today you may be doing drugs or even smoking or drinking. Tomorrow when you have children, I'm talking to youngsters also now. Tomorrow when you have children and your son comes up with a glass in front of you, are you going to pour him? Or he takes your cigarette and starts smoking, or he is doing drugs. Will you like it? What example are you setting to your future generation? Ask yourself this question. Oh, that little bit of excitement is good enough. I'm sorry. This excitement is not good. If you are straying from your path, your entire future generation is going to stray. You're setting a bad example. Because the future generation is yet to be born or may be born. Your kids are the future. You are just a servant for the kids. Remember that. Do you get this point? If you are married and if you have children, you are just a glorified servant for your kids. Right? So don't try to say to yourself, I am doing some great job. Sir, you have to do that job. All right? But set a very, very good example for others to follow. This is what it all means. So leading a good life is important. Not glorified life. The way people are. No. And you have to be satisfied. Basic teachings are these. There is nothing beyond that. Do your swadharma. Do it diligently. Religiously, whatever you are doing. See, it is not important whether you believe or you don't believe. That is a secondary issue. You have to believe in your own self, the God within you. First, you believe in that God within you. Whether you believe in the God outside or no is none of anybody's concern. First, you start believing in yourself that I am a good human being and I am capable of doing anything good in this world. That's it. उसके बाद बाकी का. Right? So, these are basic things. So, this is the knowledge. So, we will do the next verse. We are doing Uddhav Gita, chapter 24, verse 40. Salutations to thee, O great yogi. Please instruct me who have taken refuge in thee. How may I acquire an undying devotion to thy lotus feet? So, now Uddhava is just on the verge of going away. He says, what are the last words? Can you please tell me the concluding part of your satsangs, Krishna is giving this satsang to Uddhava. Can you just give me the main points of your satsang? Whatever you have taught me, can you just tell me in short whatever that you're talking about? So this particular verse is, like I said, Krishna had already finished talking, but then Uddhava says to him, I need this one last, chota sa. Like they say, one for the road, na? Yahan pe one for the road only. So Krishna, please give me this one for the last, because after this, I am going away. I am going to Badrika Ashram. He goes to Badrika Ashram. Okay, before going to Badrika Ashram, what are the great words that you have? So we will do the next verse. This is combination of 4 verses. We are doing Uddhav Gita, chapter 24, verse 41 to 44. The Lord said, go Uddhava at my command to my hermitage called Badrika Ashram. Please go. Krishna's hermitage is Badrika Ashram. So please go to Badrika Ashram, where at the very site of the Alaknanda, the sacred river that sprang from my feet, all your sins, my friend, will be removed. And you will be purified by touching and bathing in it. There, clad in bark, living on wild roots and fruits, averse to pleasure, patient under all hardships, calm and well behaved, with your senses under control and mind concentrated, possessed of knowledge and realization, reflecting on what I have taught you and what you have already considered, with your speech and mind attached to me, practice the religion concerning me. Thereby you will transcend the range of 3 gunas and attain me, the Supreme. So this is quite a lengthy thing. So let us break it down slowly. We may not be able to conclude this today, like I had already told you that we have just a few more verses to go. So this verse may take some time. So let us see what he says. So today and tomorrow evening, 2 days only. And after that, this book is over. Then Tuesday morning, we are doing the Bhagavad Gita. The Lord said, go Uddhava at my command to the hermitage called Badri, where at the very site of the Alaknanda, the sacred river that sprang from my feet, there is a very beautiful story. How did this river come from the feet of the Lord? This is a story from another scripture, so I will tell you. Now, in the Goloka, now those who are not in the know of Goloka, let me tell you, Goloka is beyond Brahma. Did you get it? Everybody wants to become a Brahmanyani. It is called the first divine unmanifest. Alright? So we say, na, hum Brahmanyani ban gaye, hum Brahma ki or ja rahe. Brahma, not Brahma. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh are the trinity of demigods. They are demigods, they are not gods. So All these demigods, they will go to Brahma. Finished after that. So Brahma is the first divine unmanifest. Beyond the first divine unmanifest is Krishna's domain. He is the imperishable Atma over there. He is the imperishable soul. That is why he is called the supreme divine consciousness. So there he is the supreme person, number one. And two, that is his divine abode. Right? So in that divine abode, everybody is a gopi. There are no males in that, by the way. Everybody is a female. The only male in this universe, in this creation, is Sri Krishna himself. There are no males there. Got it? On the earth, when they are born, they take a human form. So that distinction is there, male, female and all the other things. So, in the Golok Vrindavana, Krishna was one day sitting with his gopi called Ganga. Now, the boss of Vrindavana, the boss of Goloka is Radharani. Okay, Radharani is Krishna's other form. Okay, it is Krishna who split into two forms. That also I may have to tell you, so let me tell you that also. Krishna is alone. How do you love one person? No. So Krishna says, I have to split myself into two, one male and one female. So he himself divides his own self into two entities. Now, you may want to understand, this happens over here or it happens in all the religions of this world? Sir, in this religion he is called Krishna and Radha. Okay? In other religions, he goes by another name. Because they may be speaking in English and here we may be speaking in Sanskrit for all you know. Okay? In that other religion, he is called God the Father. English mein bolte hain. So God the Father and the one split into entity, the Holy Spirit. Yeah. The Lord becomes the Holy Spirit also. And then his son is born. Got the answer? So God the Father stays in the supreme divine unmanifest. That other thing, the very far away domain. Those who do not understand this, don't bother about it. It's not important to know so much. Just let it be. So this Krishna divides himself into two. So it is Radharani himself. Okay? Not anybody else. Now when Tulsi is there, suddenly, now she is sitting with Krishna. See, everybody loves Krishna. You should know this. All the gopis, every gopi in this world. And now you are also a gopi. Whoever is listening is a gopi. Please remember this. Okay. So don't be under the impression that I am some guy. Oh, look at me. I am such a hefty guy. Sir, you are a guy only for for your own imagery. Otherwise, you are not a guy at all. समझ में आया? You are nothing. Everybody is a female. And every individual soul that is there, individual soul, we call it that. That is the Paramatma, Krishna, and the individual soul. They are always doing what is called as a Ras Leela. That means it is literally like making love, kind of a thing. So, she was there, Ganga. And suddenly, there is an announcement that Radharani is coming. Naturally, when she is coming, Ganga says, where am I to hide? Because Radharani has got a temper. Please understand this. She is very strong and very, very powerful. She has got a temper. Naturally, who is that person? She has done that to everybody, by the way. She has done it to Tulsi also. You understand? Tulsi. Radharani has cursed Tulsi. Radharani has cursed even, all the other guys that are there, by the way. Sudama, Sridama, everybody. She is a strong person. So when she is coming, Ganga is afraid. She says to Krishna, hide me immediately. Krishna says, I can't see any other place to hide. Why don't you hide below my feet? And that is how Ganga hid below the feet of Sri Krishna. But Radharani comes to know about it. She's all knowing, remember this. When she comes to know about it, she catches hold of her and says, what do you think you are doing over here? Huh? You are hogging Krishna? No, you can't do that. Now Krishna has this habit of just... Remember Nitish Bharadwaj? And you see that sneaky smile of his all the time? Like that, exactly like that. Krishna is exactly, more or less like that. So I didn't do anything. You see, always his actions are going to... मैंने कुछ नहीं किया. I have not done anything. So naturally, he's looking like a poor fellow, bechara, lachara, bechara. So he's sitting over there, what to do? So Radharani, who is totally upset with Ganga, she says, what do you think you are doing over here? Huh? And she curses her and tells her, you see, I am going to hide you on the earth and you are going to become a river. Alright? So that is how Ganga becomes a river. And it flows from the Himalayas. It is said that Ganga flows from the feet of Sri Krishna. So I hope you got that. So this Alaknanda river, those who have been to Badrika Ashram and all will tell you, is a tributary of Ganga, becomes Ganga later on. In some places it's called by one name, in another place it's called by another name, in another place it's called Hooghly River, and God knows how many names you want you can put. It's Ganga at the end of the day. So, it's a sacred river that sprang from my feet to wash away all your sins. The importance of Ganga is this. From the feet of Sri Krishna, where Ganga is hidden, flows. And naturally, when she flows from the feet of Sri Krishna, the water has tremendous amount of significance. And those who know further, we are anyway going to stop over here, okay? So don't worry. Just one more line in this. As it progresses towards Haridwar, Brahmaji was doing tapascharya over there. And he says to Krishna, I would like you to put your feet over here or be over here constantly. That is why they say that Har Ki Pauri is there. The feet of Krishna, feet of Vishnu, Mahavishnu, is there at the bottom of that Har Ki Pauri. So if you go to Haridwar, you can find that as well. So this way the water becomes a holy water. Yeah, don't go by the polluting river and all that. You bring the water home and purify it. Oh, don't worry. Filter it, purify it, aquaguard it. I don't know what you're going to do with it. And use it as a tirtha. So he says, the sacred river that sprang from my feet, all your sins, my friend, will be removed. When you take the holy tirtha on your head or drink it, put it on your body, all your sins are going to get removed. And you will be purified by touching and bathing in it. So when you go to these places, you take the water and you bathe in it or touch it or even taste it or put it on your head, you will get purified. This is written in the Uddhav Gita. So we are going to stop over here and we will continue the same verse from where we have stopped tomorrow in the afternoon, evening, 4:30. Alright, take care. Have a great day and I hope you got a good lesson today. Bye.